Good afternoon. It's Darcy and Brian from Stay at Home Gamers, and we want to talk a little bit about our experience at the Nexus Game Fair in Milwaukee, and then show you the awesome stuff that we've got from there, because there was some great deals on board games, as well as there was some other things that we picked up, and then talk a little bit about where we are headed next.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about going to Nexus Game Fair?
Well, I haven't been to a game fair in a long time. Like last time I was at a board game kind of thing was Gen Con when it was in Milwaukee 20 years ago. I don't know. And I was in Indianapolis. So, yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was, I'm going to say it was smaller than I expected, but it was, because I didn't know what to expect, but it was definitely good. It wasn't too small or anything like that. It wasn't.
I think it
would have been more fun for just us two, because there's board game rooms and tables and RPG things that the kids were going to do anyway. So, but there were kids things there.
Yeah, I enjoyed going. I'm glad that we went and checked it out. We haven't really been going to conventions, and now that the kids are old enough where it's a little bit easier to travel with them and things like that, we're just kind of diving back into the hobby that our gaming hobby and stuff. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I wasn't sure how big it was, but I think in terms of like a local gaming convention, it's a pretty good size.
Yeah. It was just spread out a lot.
From what I understand,
I was just picturing a big hall.
Yeah,
I mean there was multiple rooms.
There was a lot of rooms set up for gaming events.
Oh yeah.
So in terms of getting your game on, like there's lots of space for that, lots of opportunity to play. Mm-hmm. There aren't like a ton of vendors and stuff in the dealer hall.
A nice selection of things.
Yeah. It was a nice selection. Everyone that
our favorite vendor,
one of our favorites, was there, and everyone that I interacted with, like they were friendly and
super friendly, and they weren't like we weren't like we're too big for you kind of thing or anything.
Right, and everyone was really good about the kids because you never know exactly.
It's just miniatures and stuff.
How that's going to go.
The first thing Xander did was just touching a miniature when we got there.
I know. I was like, oh no! I'm like, please don't break this. I mean, overall, our kids are good. They're well behaved and stuff when we're out in public. But it's always kind of a hit or miss on how things are going to go at something like this because it's so overwhelming and exciting. Mm-hmm. Like it's just so much sensory input. Yep. So for the little guy, he wants to touch everything, which is normal for a 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. But there are things that I don't necessarily want him touching, or he's kind of hanging on the table where things are displayed, or just trying to like grab up stuff.
Or invite people to our house.
Yes, he tried to invite somebody over for a sleepover. And he was trying to take everyone's dice because when we checked in, we received dice that has Nexus Game Fair stamped on it for 2018 as part of our badge costs and things like that. And then when we stopped by Thunderworks Games, they did let us take a few of the dice that they had set out that has their logo on it. So then he started thinking he could just take all the dice from every place, and I'm like, no. And he just wanted more and more dice. Mm-hmm. But overall, it was good. And then Arissa, she was really great with, checking things out and listening. But they had a kids gaming area where you could check the kids in, and they could learn some new games and play. And they got a chance to do play to win. Mm-hmm. Xander, he got a little antsy after a bit, which is he played a couple games though. He did, yeah. So I mean, for being 5, that was he hit his limit, and that was fine. Like we just had to take him and find something else to do for a bit. But she played for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was around there. Yeah.
So I mean, she played several different games, and she won a couple of them, and with the play to win. So she brought home a couple new games just from that. There weren't a ton of kids on that last day over in that area, and I don't know what their typical amount of kids in attendance are. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
We didn't see a ton of kids. There was just 2 we saw, and then there was that kid that played with them. I think that's all I really saw.
But there might have been more on the other days, and maybe Sunday just wasn't as
Sunday
many.
Was cheaper. I think it was shorter. I think they were tightening up and stuff.
I'm glad that we went, and I think we will consider going next year.
We have gone to things before where we've gone and been disappointed. So we weren't disappointed at all.
Right. So that's
good.
Yeah, that's kind of the key. Is I didn't come away going, that was a waste of our day and money or any of that kind of thing.
They didn't want to leave.
We were
Got there at like 11, and we stayed 3.
Until almost 3. And they were they were finishing up around 3. People were starting to, pack things up and stuff when we finally were like, okay, we gotta get going, guys. So it was a good time. And we definitely came home with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Couldn't help it.
No.
A couple of things that we got. The kids picked out dice bags.
Obviously.
Of course. And
they're nice bags.
And yes, they're very nice. And I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I can share her info.
You have a card.
I can share her info later. She has really nice dice bags. We've got some of the dice that we got from Nexus, but then there was a dice vendor there, so we did get an assortment of, these ones are good for, math, because there's one, I think it's probably in hers, that has, the plus sign, multiplication sign and stuff. We got them an assortment of dice for them to have, because the little guy, he just loves just rolling and playing them, and he sits there and, on his own, for fun, adds them up.
Yep.
So.
He'll be a D&D player someday.
And then...
I just picked up some random dice for him to play with.
She went on a quest from the lady that made the dice bags. She also has these potion bottles that she makes. So this is like a mana potion, and she had a quest for that kids could do, and then she received this as her quest reward, which was pretty cool. So it's very sparkly. It's very pretty. It's Rissa's favorite color, so she's very excited about that, and it matches nicely with her bag as well.
They hold the clothes nicely.
They do. I just have to get beads for the end. Little guy kept pulling his ribbon all the way out. So, I'm trying to think what to go with first here.
All of them.
All of them. So the kids did get little games when we got our badges when we came in. So we have left, right, center, and then it's like a little tumbling tower game.
Jenga-ish.
Jenga-ish, yes. It's not officially Jenga. But I heard that left, right, center, or left, center, right is a good one for the kids to play. And then for participating in the kids track gaming area, they received Robits, which we haven't opened yet. It's sealed. But it looks like it's a card game where you're putting together robots. Robits, sorry. Well, I mean, they look like robots. But it looks like a quick, easy,
10+.
fun game for the
10
kids.
plus, that means that they can all play it, usually.
One of the games that they got in the play to win is, I'm going to say this wrong probably, Memoir.
Like memory-ish.
But
animals and stuff.
And with a little bit of a pirate treasure twist.
Yeah,
that's why it's like,
Arr. That was roar, but yeah, Memoir. I get it now.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Memoir. Arr. I'm not a good pirate. So this is from Stronghold Games. And both kids were playing that. I think it says 8+ on there. But they both were playing it and they had a good time.
I think 8+.
I think it's what it said. And then Conex was another one. Just Rissa played this one with the other boy that was there. Yeah. And then she won this. She won the game, so she won this one. It looks really interesting. It's more of a, it's kind of a color matching, but you need play space because you're matching on the corners and stuff, and then there's points awarded for things. So, but she had a lot of fun with that. It's a game by Hobble.
Ages 18 to 99. Anyone over 99.
Anyone can play it. We stopped by Thunderworks Games. We bought enough where we had to get a bag from them.
We didn't buy a game.
We didn't buy the game. Or we didn't buy a game while we were visiting them. We own Role Player and the Role Player expansion called Monsters and Minions, which is by Thunderworks Games. And it's one of my favorites at this point in time. We play that together frequently. It's our most played one right now at this point. It's a lot of fun. So I knew that they were going to be at Nexus Game Fair, so I made sure to stop by and talk with them. Now, that's not the only game that they design or have, but it's
the biggest,
the biggest one that we are very, that we know that we play, that we're familiar with. They had a few other more kid games out on display there. There was one that was
London?
blended.
Something
So
like
where you're making smoothies, like
speed run
speed,
dice
yeah.
thing.
And then the other one was called Bullfrogs. And I think both the kids would like those, but we were focused on upgrading Role Player.
Lots of pieces.
Because they had some awesome accessories. Like,
Stay this way.
I know I was just
Play board.
Which will make
Setting up the main
really
area
nice.
easier.
Be really nice, and it just looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a new card for our marketplace.
That was free. They're giving those to everybody.
Yes, Cursed Ring, but it's not in the deck.
Nope.
Otherwise, so you get this by seeing them.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
And then I have a new character sheet, the Frogkin.
The class race. I mean.
Sorry, I started pushing it through the board on exit before. So this is one that doesn't come in the game, so it's an extra one that you can get. And so we got it while we were there. But one of the challenges that we have with having the base game of Role Player and then the Monsters and Minions expansion is that there are so many pieces. Lots of pieces. And there's 2 different boxes.
So
this will help organize everything, have everything fit into one box, which I'm definitely thrilled about. And it just looks really
made
cool.
Out of wood and laser cut.
I don't know if you can really see this part here, but it looks really cool. They had them displayed there, and it just makes it really nice for all your pieces, so that it's got all your cards and all your money and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that setup there was really nice.
And then I'm not going to totally open all the way, but make it a little bit easier for you to see. We picked up the coins to upgrade from, I mean, you can...
Cardboard.
This one shows like some of the cardboard ones. But, so these actually have, you know, a bit of weight to it. Just a little bit more.
And we got a discount when we bought most of this stuff, so we said, why not?
It feels, I don't know. It's just kind of fun to upgrade a game that you play a lot.
Yeah, and they're constantly expanding it to be more like a D&D feel to it.
Yes. So they did have an event to play the prototype of Role Player Adventures, but I wasn't able to sign up for the event. But I did get to talk with them a little bit about the upcoming game and stuff. So yes, I did get to peek at the prototype. So that was pretty cool, and I'm excited for that to come out. I don't know how long that's going to take. Probably longer than my little heart would like.
That came out a little while ago.
I would like it now, but looking forward to that. And they will be at Origins, so I'll probably be stopping over by them and talking some more. All the stuff from Thunderworks Games, that was within like the first, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, that was my first stop. Was I wanted to go see them right away and just chat with them and let them know how much we enjoy the game. So there were also some really good deals. So Brian was kind of keeping an eye on the kids for a bit when they were in the kids gaming area, and I went to go wander off for a bit. And then I came back with several.
Never let her wander off.
We did buy a mystery box of games. So we haven't opened it yet. We'll do that live on later this week with the kids, because we don't know what games are in there. You know, it was like
$30 worth of games for $20.
Yeah, it was like, it was $20 for it, and it says the value is at least $30. So it was. We have no idea what's in it.
No.
I'm trying to think of the name of the place now.
Chimera or something?
Yes, Chimera.
Hobby?
Yes, and they're in Fond du Lac and Appleton. They had... Yes, sorry. They had some games that were buy one, get half off, and then they had a rack of Scratch and Dent, which were buy one, get 2 free.
Can't go wrong there.
So that is why I came back.
We got a game we've always wanted.
That's why I came back with my hands like full of bags. So one of the games that we picked up was Sagrada. I've had my eye on this for a bit. It's a dice drafting game. They're beautiful, beautiful dice. You make it look kind of like stained glass windows and stuff. I've seen lots of stuff about it. I've heard lots of stuff about it, and it's been on my list for a bit. So I made sure
it's hard to find.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. There is an expansion to have more players than what this includes, or I don't know if that's out yet or not. But it's a popular game, so sometimes it can be a little bit harder to find, or at least for a decent price. And then we got
Everyone's got that one, I feel.
Pandemic. We're probably the last, not the last people in the world to have it, but
it's a game where they have a whole shelf of expansions at the game store.
It's one that we probably should have added to our collection several years ago.
We have these other games, though. The guy, what's his name? Matt Leacock. Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert.
Mm-hmm. So, and as you can see, this one has been opened because we played this last night after getting it. We lost the first one.
Which wasn't, we didn't lose because we did something wrong, which is usually what happens.
Right, we just had
then we won the second one.
Insane outbreaks.
I think we had very good rolls for two-player game. Second game we had really good rolls. The medic and the scientist, we just...
Yeah, it was much easier to clear out everything, and we didn't have as many outbreaks. But
yeah,
I'm excited to finally add this to our collection. Like, it's a game that we're so familiar with from, like, watching on tabletop and just seeing other people play it and hearing about it. And now we finally get to play it. We plan to play it with at least with Arissa, but I can't see it over there. I'm sorry. We plan to play it because it's 8+ and it's a cooperative game.
She can play that.
I mean, he
could play it too.
Xander can play too because he plays Forbidden Island and Forbidden Desert with us. Since it's cooperative, it's a little bit easier.
Walk through it. Yeah, we won. We lost the first one to with the red disease, which we hadn't named the disease as our first two games, but then we beat it. Or we cured them all, I should say. We eradicated one.
Oh, okay. Steven's saying that he doesn't think the expansion is out yet.
Oh, there you go.
Cigarette. So it's one. I was just glad to be able to grab it like now, and doing the buy one get one half off made getting these two together fabulous.
I know the Pandemic has more to buy.
Yeah, they have. There was like a whole shelf of different ones, and then there's like the legacy.
The big shelf.
There's like the legacy campaign ones too. So we have to start with the original first.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a whole shelf of all the Ticket to Ride ones that were there too, and Catan, and I was like, I was trying to figure out what all to get. So
these I've never heard of.
These are a little lesser known to, like, I recognize some of the game publishers, but I don't recognize these games. But when you buy one, get two free.
Just take whatever you get.
Let's check it out and see where it goes.
You can see we've been watching Outlander.
So, Highland Clans by Queen Games. Yes, we've been watching Outlander. We're finally caught up on it, and so going with the Scottish theme. Figured why not try this out.
We haven't really bought a game we haven't liked.
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty.
I mean like these. I mean not like the classic, Walmart shelf
games. Right.
Those I find when I don't like, but.
Right. I feel like we're pretty open. Like we're pretty.
We might not play it as much, but we're not going to be like, oh, it's horrible.
So, yeah, this one, it's like you're trying to. Your family honors at stake and all this kind of stuff. So you're trying to have prestige and influence.
Sounds like Crusader Kings.
Yeah. So.
If you're going to play that on a computer, that's.
So I don't know like anything about this game at all. If you've played it, let us know.
Not sure how it's scratched or dented, but.
Well.
I'm not complaining, does I?
I mean, some of it was kind of obvious that the cellophane had been ripped on some of them. I mean, they label it scratch and dent. However, they decide that.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way you heard it, maybe.
So that could be it too. Like this one, no, that one's not. I don't think any of the ones that I ended up grabbing were actually as visibly scratched and dented. I mean, there were some there that you could definitely tell had been banged up a bit. This one is called The Sorcerer's Sword by XIG.
Zig?
I don't... If it's pronounced Zig and not XIG...
You spell it.
I'm sorry. I know nothing about this game. Nothing.
They'll soon.
Never heard of it before. But I thought it looked kind of neat. I thought the kids might enjoy it. It is for ages 8+. You can do 2, 3, or 4 player game, and you're kind of like trying to build the sword. So it's sort of like a puzzle game, and since we really enjoy playing Patchwork, which is a puzzle type game, and my daughter has enjoyed playing that with me, I thought, I mean, not that this is the same as Patchwork, but since it's a puzzle type game, that it might be interesting. It's something different that we can try out.
Yeah.
I mean, the artwork looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. And then Smash Up Munchkin, which is supposed to be 2 different games in one. This is by...
So it's 2 games smashed together.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 2 different games smashed together.
Smashed Up Munchkin with Smash Up.
There we go. Okay.
I've seen Munchkin. I know how that works.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't actually played Munchkin, but
that's another one with a bunch of expansions.
I've seen a lot about it. I'm not sure what Smash Up is.
It's a game where each player smashes 2 weird factions together and tries to crush all the others. There you go.
But it sounded like something that, you know, might be fun for us to play. Yeah. And you can have 2 to 4 players. There are some games that look great, but are, you know, minimum 3 players or are better with 3 or more players. So I try to find stuff that for sure him and I can play, like at least a 2-player aspect. But yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
So we'll see how that goes. Yes, that was everything.
Yep. Minus Loot Crate.
Minus the which
I got a shirt.
Yes. I could have spent more. I didn't have any more hands.
Yeah, it's true.
Really, I didn't have any more budget either. We don't go do a ton of conventions or haven't, and we've been going to that kind of stuff recently. So getting the opportunity to go there, being able to get some...
Do one day.
Get some deals on games and stuff, because I know that can be a good way to pick up, especially newer titles and things like that. But we're excited to check these out, play them, share them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting ready for a bigger trip and a much bigger convention next week. We will be heading to Columbus, Ohio to go to the Origins Game Fair, which is a huge board gaming convention. So we are looking forward to that.
Watch this space for information.
Yes.
Reviews and recaps and
yes, I'm hoping
travel logs or whatever we're gonna do.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to go live a bit while we are there, kind of on site, but some of that will
depend on Wi-Fi.
Depend on you know.
Otherwise, we'll record a video and we'll upload it to YouTube or something.
Yeah. And I have appointments to meet with a few different publishers to get a little bit more time with them to talk about some new releases and things like that. And I will do my best to scope things out to.
And let us know if there's anything you want us to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's a game that you definitely know.
Sort of someone
or
new
not
to
new, but
board gaming at this point. We're still behind.
Yeah, it feels
catching up.
It
so
feels like we've been behind. Yeah.
You want us to look at? We'll look at it, or something we should look at.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of different game publishers that are going to be there, and this is a good time where they like to show the new releases that they got coming. Whether
it's like the E3 of their board games, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So we'll definitely be sharing as much as we can about new releases and things like that.
That's if we survive a 7-hour drive with 2 children.
Yeah, that's the first step. The first step is surviving the road trip there.
They're actually pretty good at long trips.
So I'm hoping to go live on Facebook if possible. Definitely will be posting throughout on Twitter and on Instagram. Definitely Instagram stories. So if you aren't following us there, you need to do that. And then, yeah, I don't know how fast I'll get some write-ups done. I might not get things done while we're still there. But shortly after we're back, we'll have some recap videos and blog posts and things like that. So we'll have plenty to share with you.
On these if we ever get to play them, other than pandemic. Maybe this week we'll get to play some of that.
Yeah, like we don't have a ton of time between having just been at Nexus and then when we head to Origins to dive into these games a ton before we go, but we will do our best to share with you guys. So if you have any questions, have anything, if you've played any of these games, let us know. Let us know what you thought of them. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we'll see you again soon.